Hello, Ellen Petronella here, and a warm welcome to today's video. Today I will show you how I do the seed stitch and how I use seed stitch to creatively add abstract elements into my stitch journal. Let's start making some seed stitches right away. And by the way, in case it's the first time you're seeing these embroidered books, here I've got my travel stitch journal that I'm going to be doing some seed stitches into today. I've also got my regular stitch journal. I call it regular because it's more similar to a written journal in that it's a lot of embroidered lettering. Last video I showed you how I use the running stitch to fill out the spaces and complete my pages, and the the seam stitch functions very similarly in how it allows you to complement and complete your pages. I did similar on this previous page here, or actually it's technically afterwards. You may have seen some glimpses of these pages already in previous videos where I added these monster plans as well as showed you how I attached this patch. Well, the seed stitch made its way into this page or onto this page because I didn't really know how to fill out the background and it just felt too empty to leave it hanging. The seed stitch came to the rescue. It's a beautiful way to add some colors and texture, all while having those benefits of repetitive stitches. Oh gosh, I just love seed stitch. Seed stitch has been my savior the last few days. So let's just get started and I'll be chatting along as I stitch instead. I noticed it's actually about the 5th take that I'm trying to show you my seed stitches into this book. I just realized I had so much to say and it was just so exciting to talk about all of the potential of the seed stitch. And yeah, I decided this is the last take, so let's just start stitching, everyone. Have you used the seed stitch before? And how was the experience? What I find so relaxing with a seed stitch as an alternative to the running stitch when filling, running stitch when filling surfaces in a creative way is that there is no rule of the direction. You're not following a line. The only North Star is to make a short, relatively short at least, a short straight stitch, and that ideally all of the little straight stitches, all of the little stabs should be in various directions. This creates intentional chaos, and just the whole concept of intentional chaos appeals to me. I don't know why. Maybe it's the creative nature of it or just the permission slip that it doesn't have to be perfect. Seed stitch for me has been one of those techniques that's just allowed me to step away from perfectionism, feeling that it has to be a certain way. It's been several years now that I've been trying to consciously, through the use of art and different mediums, different techniques. I'm actually going to cut this one off before continuing talking because it's bothering me. Consciously using arts in different ways to really bring more of that creative freedom back. Sometimes we get stuck in these preset ideas that even art, even if it's something that is supposed to be relaxing and liberating, we get stuck in ideas that it has to be done in a specific way. So if you take anything from this video apart from some wonky seed stitches, it's that use art and give yourself the permission to try, experiment. Don't try to make it perfect. And seed stitch really is such a forgiving technique. When made just a few of them, when just completely isolated, a few of these straight stitches, it might just look kind of naked and odd. I was trying to look for a good word, but when you do a lot of the little repetitions. So a lot in art, especially in hand embroidery art, it's about repetition. The secret sauce is in repetition. And when you start repeating a lot of these little random straight stitches in various directions, suddenly it creates the intentional chaos or harmonized chaos. Because looking at it from a distance, it no longer looks chaotic. In some way, these seed stitches actually allowed this patch to become one with the page behind it, right? Oh gosh, now the sun is coming through the window a little bit. I actually tried to shoot this outside in the garden, but it was way too windy today. Oh gosh. I'm grateful to have you here. Do let me know if you want to make some seed stitches into your journal. And in case you didn't create yours yet, do not worry. I hope that this video gives you some excitement to try to put your stitch journal together. Do some running stitches from the last video, make some seed stitches, add some old designs into it and start playing around. Seed stitch and running stitches are wonderful complementary techniques in that they are so adaptable and flexible to whatever space you have available. If it's just a little teeny tiny corner or just this kind of border here where I couldn't do much, but I still wanted to attach the patch a little bit better and create a more natural transition over to the background fabric, making it all feel more intentional, seed stitch or running stitch, they are going to become your best friends. All right, I'll be finishing up this thread, this floss. Whenever I'm doing these more freehand stitching, I kind of don't want to just cut it off when I was up here. So I'm working my way back down to just end this piece of floss. I'm also using another nuance of green relative to the one that I've already stitched here. So I think that's just a fun little detail. I may actually add a couple in here too. All right. Thank you so much for following along. I hope you enjoyed the seed stitches today. Oh, it almost looks like little pieces of rice that you have dropped onto it. I just find it very, very beautiful in its simplicity. And again, don't forget to access the free workshop and learn how you can create these embroidered books as well. Thank you so much, and be sure to subscribe and like and check out the following videos.